Hey everyone, my name is Megan and this is Painted and Distressed. Today I'm participating in the Quick Change collab where we are to make reversible or changeable home decor that can be seasonal or everyday decor. I made a couple items that can be used for the fall or winter time, as well as one item that can be used all year long. I hope you enjoy. This first project, I'm taking this wood round that I got from Lowe's and I'm painting both sides of it using one coat of Waverly chalk paint in the color white. On one side, I cut out with my Cricut on some heat transfer vinyl the word hello and some different colored fall leaves. And I'm just using my heat press to attach them to the wood, and then I took some regular vinyl and I cut out the words fall to attach them to the leaves. And then now I am taking Territorial Beige by Apple Barrel Paint and I'm just distressing it all over to give it an extra fall vibe. On the other side, I cut out the words welcome-ish, depends on who you are and how long you stay. And then I'm just distressing this side using Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant, and then for some added dimension I used silver lining. And since this is going to be going outside on my front gate, I used a new product to me. It's by Waverly and it's a varnish, and it does dry matte, and it's a durable sealant for indoor and outdoor use. And then I added some leaves and some sunflowers on the fall side and a bow on the regular side, as well as some eye hooks on the top and some jute rope to hang it. Let me know what you think. This next one, I just took some scrap wood that I got from my dad's wood scrap pile, and I'm painting one side, giving it one coat with Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Now you can also use paint sticks for this, or one of Dollar Tree's wooden signs, or scrap wood, which Home Depot does have a lot of. I liked this piece because it was extra rustic looking. And then the other side, I stained it using Min Wax in the color Early American, and then I took these little scrap pieces that I also got from my dad's wood pile, and I'm just painting them using Waverly chalk paint in the color Ink, and this is going to be the brim of the hats for both sides. And I wanted to attach them crooked, and so I used wood glue as well as hot glue to attach them, because this sign will be going outside as well. And I made sure to line them up on both sides so you couldn't see them. And then I painted the top parts black using Waverly chalk paint in the color Ink, so that way it looked like their hats. And then with a pencil, I drew on a very generic basic that a 4-year-old could draw. On one side, a snowman's face with a carrot nose, and I colored it in using my my regular paint pens. And on the other side, I did a scarecrow face, which you'll see in a minute. And because these are oil-based markers, I did end up distressing them because I wanted this sign to be very, very rustic. And so I made sure to sand them down on both sides. This heat gun is a lifesaver. I got it off Amazon. I will link it down below if anybody's interested. It is the best tool I've ever bought. So here I am just sanding, just to give it that rustic look. And I just love how this turned out. On the scarecrow side, I ended up adding a sunflower and then a bow tie for the snowman side. Let me know what you guys think. Now, this last project is actually a repeat from one of my projects, but however the audio was so terrible that no one could hear me, so I'm adding it again. So I'm taking this sign from Dollar Tree that is I'm trying to remove the paper, but it was stuck on there so much that I just ended up taking trying to get as much of the glitter off as I could and trying to get a smooth surface, and then I ended up painting it using Waverly chalk paint in the color white. And then now I'm taking this wood plank that I got in a pack from Dollar Tree, and I'm just giving it one coat of Waverly chalk paint in white as well. And then using my Cricut stencil vinyl, I cut out this image. It was just in the Cricut design space. And I'm just pouncing on some apple barrel paint in the color Pavement. And I'm just applying it all over. And I wasn't super careful because I knew I was going to be distressing it anyway to give it a rustic look. So I tried my best, but I was a little sloppy with it. And once the paint was dry, then as you can see there was some boo-boos, but I was distressing it anyway, so I didn't really care because it all ends up very cute in the end. And so I'm just sanding everything down to give it more of a rustic look that I like. And then I add some twine all the way around to give it a little extra embellishment. So I end up adding this scrapbook paper to the front of the sign. I thought it would give it a little, it would take it up a notch. I didn't like just the white, and I didn't want to just, dry brush over it like I always do. And so I'm just taking a big glue stick and I'm just attaching it to the front. And I'm just taking my Cricut scraper and just smoothing out all the edges, making sure there's no air bubbles. And then I'm taking my utility knife and I'm cutting out the flippy part of the sign. That's a word, right? Sure. And as usual, I'm just sanding down the edges just to give it a nice clean edge. And then I'm taking these thumbtacks, also from Dollar Tree, and I'm giving them a couple coats of apple barrel and pavement. And then now I'm attaching the kitchen is sign, and I'm cutting out some burlap ribbon to put on both sides of the flippy part of the sign. And I'm taking these galvanized letters I got from Dollar Tree, and I love them as is, but I wanted to give them a little more of a rustic look. And so I'm dabbing on some Waverly chalk paint in white, and then I end up, as you'll see in a minute, going over them just a little bit with apple barrel in the color pavement. And I cut off the sharp parts of the thumbtacks, and I'm just hot gluing them on both sides, all four corners, and then just adding my galvanized letters. I'm adding the closed on one side and open on the other. And I wanted this sign to stand up in my kitchen instead of hang it. So I took this wood plank and these 4 tumbling tower blocks that both are from Dollar Tree, and some moon wax stain in the color Early American, and I stained them all. This step is not really necessary because it is on the back, but I don't know. It's just the extra details I like to do on my projects. And then now I'm just hot gluing all the pieces together to allow for this stand to stand up. And then you'll see in a minute I went around the entire perimeter of the sign with twine just to give it a little added embellishment. And I added some mini roses that I got from Dollar Tree. And I would love to know what you guys think of this project. And I thank you so much for watching this video. I would love again to know what your thoughts are on all 3 of these projects. I know it is a little early for fall, but it's never too early to start thinking about your decor. And I also want to thank Theresa B DIY for hosting this channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.